Now, I'm going to talk to you about Republicans right now. Some of those Republicans on Capitol Hill that want Donald Trump to clarify, because what he did the other night, quite frankly, was absurd and disgusting. And I gave you one example of a neo-Nazi who's all excited about what Donald Trump said. Well, have a listen to Mitt Romney reacting to Donald Trump's debate comments on white supremacy and militia groups. Have a listen to this.
The president have condemned white supremacists last night at the debate.
Of course.
What impact does that have by him not doing that?
I don't know what impact the debate will have.
No, that specifically, not
that specifically. I don't know what impact. I'm not a political pundit, and so I can't tell you what impact that will have. I can say I watched the debate last night. It was not a Lincoln Douglas debate, that's for sure.
Well, he's right about that. It definitely wasn't. And then we have Senator Tim Scott, who is an African-American. And I believe his statement as an African-American is so weak. I believe Tim Scott is so weak. Have a listen to what he had to say when asked about the president's comments the other day in regards to the Proud Boys. Have a listen to this.
I think he misspoke in response to Chris Wallace's comment. He was asking Chris what he wanted to say. I think he misspoke. I think he should correct it. If he doesn't correct it, I guess he didn't misspeak.
I just think that is such a weak thing to say. Even if you think the president of the United States misspoke, for Tim Scott just to stand there and that's really all he said about it is disgusting. And by the way, back in 2016, go ahead and look at Tim Scott's comments when the president of the United States said there are good people on both sides, and when the president spoke about David Duke. Have a listen to Tim Scott's comments back then. I tell you, 3.5 years later, Tim Scott is a completely different man. It's utterly absurd. Now let's go to Brian Kilmeade. Now, Brian Kilmeade is a little bit more to the center. Clearly, he leans to the right. He's been on our show before, and he's on the air, obviously, before our show. This was Brian Kilmeade this morning, and he still thinks that Trump needs to clarify his comments. Have a listen to this.
Add is the President of the United States would do himself a solid and his party a solid to take some time today to clarify about his white supremacist statement, whether it was the franticness of the night, but a lot of people are forced to explain it today that have other things to do, like, for example, try to get a Supreme Court justice confirmed, Steve.
So, again, Kilmeade, and I think I misspoke earlier, he's not center. As I said, he's to the right. But Kilmeade is one of Donald Trump's biggest supporters. And there's Brian Kilmeade on Fox and Friends saying the president needs to clarify his comments. And saying that you don't know who the Proud Boys are is not a sufficient clarification. And there are a lot of Republicans that agree with me on that. Number to call if you want to be a part of the conversation is 702-257-5396. Again, that number to call. Give us a buzz. What are your thoughts on this? 257-5396. My question is this to the listeners. Do you agree with some of those Republicans? Do you agree with me? Do you agree with Brian Kilmeade? Do you think the president needs to clarify his comments? Or are you one of those people doesn't think he should do that?
You would actually be agreeing with me as well, Brian, because I just confirmed the exact same thing.
I'm just giving this out to the listeners.
Okay, fine.
Or are you one of those people that does not think he needs to clarify his comments? Are you one of those people that thinks that he didn't say anything wrong, he didn't do anything wrong? There are some people in Donald Trump's administration that have said he doesn't need to clarify anything.